On the table today at Squirrel Stampede, we continue with the Advent Calendar adventure. Hey everyone, this is Dan. Thank you very much for joining in as we have gone through several Advent calendars and we continue to go through, and today we've got the National Geographic Gemstone Advent Calendar and also some gold doubloons to open to find real gold-dipped treasure. Which reminds me, why did Treasure X not have an Advent calendar? Anyway, well, we're on a different subject here. We've got National Geographic Gemstones. We've gone through so many Advents, we've got several more on the way. I think Roblox has entered in as well, so several more to go. But right now we've got plenty of gemstones to discover and figure out. So let's begin the uncovering of the National Geographic Gemstone Advent Calendar.
And don't forget to watch Squirrel Stampede's holiday train layout coming soon. Squirrel Stampede!
And it's the National Geographic Gemstone Advent Calendar equipment check. We've got our rock rotator, we've got our black light, we've got our magnifying glass. We're ready to go as long as Stickbot doesn't get sick up there. Oh, yeah. I don't think he's feeling very well. Let's get him off that. Hoping this will continue to work. It's a few years old and a little bit rusty. So we have 24 genuine specimens to explore. My family is also personally opening our own version of this. And finding some of these rocks are a little bit challenging to identify. Easy to see here on this guide. Sure, when they're photoed right there with a little blurb of information, you're thinking, oh, that's gonna be easy. But when you start tearing some out, you start getting a little confused. Okay, so before we reach door number 1, we have to actually open this window right away. What is all this junk? So we have a few items to dress up our gemstones. We've got a necklace piece you can place a gemstone inside. Oh, this is the keychain. Then we've got a necklace piece. We've got a ring to glue a gemstone onto. And some earrings to glue gemstones onto. What's funny though is these gemstones are rather large. We're not really sure if we can fit them into these spring coils. Also more usable, this handy little National Geographic rock pouch. Okay, let's check out door number 1. It's tan. It's got some striping. What could this be? Okay, rock experts, I'll give you a second to identify. It's very quite glossy, and it has coloring of tan and black stripes. I think what we've got here is... Everyone ready?
No.
The answer is tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is a member of the Quartz family and occurs mainly in South Africa and East Asia. Fascinating. So that one was fairly easy to identify. We'll see as we continue on what we can find. So now we're going on over to door number 2. Way down here at the base. It's a very dark black with spottedness rock. Okay, rock experts, we should be able to narrow this down to either black obsidian, snowflake obsidian, or maybe even black stripe. Although I no see black stripes. And if this was snowflake obsidian, I think the snowflakes would be more pronounced. So I'm gonna go with...
What?
The answer is black obsidian. Sometimes when lava cools quickly, there are no crystals formed at all, and the lava becomes a silica-rich volcanic glass called obsidian. And this piece is highly polished. If I were to drop it off a building and shatter it, it could possibly cut my thumb in reverse. It's kind of one of those things as we get more doors open, we'll know for sure. So let's go check out door number 3 now. Up top, it's very minty. Looks almost like a gumdrop. Once again, rock experts, there's a few different choices this could be based off the images on the side of the box. Lots of green options. But I think we're going to identify it as aventurine. Green aventurine, which has long been considered a good luck stone. And this piece is very much green, almost looks gummy. I see a little bit of transparency in there, some flaking, floaty speckles. It's really quite a smooth and polished stone. So now we go for door number 4. So I believe we have 2 main choices for this one. as it spins about. What do you think? It's either going to be red granite, which is a type of igneous rock formed when lava cools down and crystallizes. And if you're a Minecraft gamer, you will recognize granite as pretty rough. Or we've got red jasper, which is a hard opaque gemstone that is very smooth and is ideal for making jewelry and other decorative objects. And so I think we'll identify this as red jasper. It looks too fine and pretty to be red granite, but some of these are certainly hard to identify, and you can't always say for sure. Door number 5, over here. We have a very salty, roughed up stone, not polished. Okay, members of the Gemstone Club, we have 3 flaky options. We've got either a green fluorite, maybe a chunk of geode, piece of inner geode, or blue calcite. It's a real tough ID on this one. I see no green, I see no sparkle of a geode, so I guess I'm gonna go with blue calcite for now. And I think Sonic approves, so we'll just go with blue calcite. Seems like the closest match we can go with. Door number 6, we will look for... These doors are so tricky. Aha, so this I recognize from Minecraft. Out of the 2 red rocks available, red granite or red jasper, this has to be red granite. Granite is a type of igneous rock formed when lava cools down and crystallizes. Red granite gets its color from the presence of alkali feldspar crystals, which can range from pink to deep red. And it totally has that rough texture you see in Minecraft. Time for door number 7. Gray in tone, smaller scale. Another challenging gemstone specimen here. It's gray with a little bit of sparkle. So going through the list and trying to remove what is most obvious and going to what we have left, I'm just gonna have to go gray agate. What? Agate is a variety of chalcedony, a type of quartz made up of microcrystals, and you can kind of see the microcrystals in this rock when the light hits it just right. And it reflects lots of pretty cool colors too. Looks really good spinning on the rotator. So gray agate, that's what we're gonna go with. And for door 8, way down here in the bottom corner, really crunchy down there. And this one seems pretty easy to identify. What do you think, Rock Club? It's very green and spotted. Lots of dots of spots of green on a whitish background of stone. So if you have the name of the stone in mind, it is Green Dot. Green Dot Jasper is a type of quartz made up of microcrystals as well. It is very smooth and does not flake when cut. And Holiday Stickbot seems to have an attachment to this one. I believe it's his favorite. Yeah. Door number 9. And here's another gemstone that throws me, as its color on table is not the same as color on box. The box has more of a purple hue to it. This one is more of a rusty red. But what helps me identify them most is the line work in there. We have bands of deep red moving about on a milky white, cloudy crystal rock. And I think the rock that best describes this one is Chevron Amethyst. And based off my Minecraft knowledge of mining, amethyst usually is a little more purple, but I think this is our closest match. And it's quite the pretty rock. So time for door number 10 down at the bottom. So another gemstone that's easy to identify today. We have a grayish white milky rock with lots of veins running through it as if it were alive. Stickbot's legs are quite full of it. We've got a rock called Red Stripe. Red Stripe Jasper can be polished to a high luster. It is also great for making jewelry and other decorative objects. This one matches the photo well on the box, and I believe is possibly the most living of rock. They probably kill rock monsters for this, as of all those veins running through it. Feels so lifelike and kind of disgusting. Yeah. Door number 11. And it looks like another stone that's going to be too large to fit out of its own door. Wow, starry night. What could this be? This one's really quite cool. It feels like I'm looking at a deep sky starfield. So this gemstone was really tough to identify, especially when there's a mysterious blue and white squirrel on top. Please go away for just a second so we can see this stone. So there it is. I had to do a little Googling because the images on the box did not really help, but I believe this rock is sodalite. Typically I've seen bluer specimens of sodalite. This one's really dark with some brown striping, but if you look really close you can see some deep blues. They're getting in a little closer for you. You can see some deep blues in there with some of those tans and blacks, almost like looking into a starry filled night. A deep space view of gemstone, right? But sodalite matches this the best. You really have to use process of elimination a lot on some of these stones. So I'm feeling pretty good. We've got this identified. Let's go to Stickbot's collection. And now for the halfway point, number 12. Okay, why did they place such a small stone in such a large door while other doors that have been so small have featured huge rocks? As difficult as it was to identify sodalite, this one much easier. What do you think, junior geologists? We've got a muddy white stone with lots of spots on it. It's gotta be Dalmatian jasper. Jasper can contain flecks of other minerals, and the word jasper comes from the Greek word meaning spotted stone. So probably one of the most easiest stones to identify today. We'll put this definitely in the I know what this is gemstone pile. So easy ID on that one, and that gets us halfway. And what happens halfway? The Candy Cane Invasion, Part 6. The squirrels beam back into battle. Hey, there you are! While you were gone, we came to our senses and would like to offer you a peace treaty. What? Together, squirrels and candy canes coexist. What is it, Frank? Squirrels destroyed the home world. Instant rage! As long as squirrels live, there will be no peace. Now combine candy canes into our ultimate weapon. To be continued. Well, that certainly happened and is escalating quite incredibly. Door number 13, way in the back here. Door number 13. It's kind of smeary, kind of green, smeary, one of the ugliest gemstones of the day. What is this? So we have options like green aventurine and green dot, maybe even unakite, but I think we're gonna have to go with Jade. And I don't think it's the best specimen of jade here. It's probably very low quality, and that's why it's so kind of messed up. Jade has been used by different cultures around the world for thousands of years to make beautiful sculptures, jewelry, tools, and weapons. And usually the things I see made of jade are a little more pure green. Even the image is green on the box. This one's a little bit of both green and gray mixed together. Now for door number 14. Door number 14 is... Oh my, I think we're rich. I think we've hit the mother lode. Oh no, wait, it's just pyrite. The shiny yellow gold color of pyrite often lead people to believe they have found gold, and so it was nicknamed Fool's Gold. Sorry about that, Tiny Chipmunk Squirrel. You are not a millionaire, but we've got a beautiful piece of pyrite here. Shiny, speckled golden silver. Lots of little reflections coming from it. Pretty cool piece, and we will see more in just a second in the gold doubloon kit. So, fun to see pyrite. Glad it was included. Easy to identify. Okay, where does that leave us? Again, this, I believe, dropped out of 20. The boxes are starting to deteriorate. We're looking at 15, I think. I think I just opened 14, so 15. Yeah, 14, 15 down here at the bottom. Alright, what do we got? What is this? Wow, gray and stripy. So I had this rock initially grouped up with the black obsidian, snowflake obsidian, but it is clearly black stripe, as it is more gray, with clearly identifiable black stripes going through it. Pretty interesting gemstone, really. and should be pretty easy to identify. Blackstriped jasper, another fascinating example of how varied jasper can be thanks to the presence of other minerals and organic material. This one is smoothed over, but it's not too glossy actually. I'd put it in the top 10 of rocks in this kit. 16. 16, will 16 square us back? Another rock that I think is pretty easy to identify. What do you think, junior geologists? Unakite. Unakite is a metamorphic rock that's often used to create jewelry. In some way it kind of has a granite look too, but this one definitely has this kind of rosy red with greenish mixture. A splatter of different colors in there. Nicely smoothed over stone, looking pretty good. Another highlight gemstone of this box. So what do we got for 17? It's blue, it's very blue, so there's several different options here. Well, it's another blue stone to identify from, and there's several blue stones on our guide, but this one I feel is the most easy to pull. It is Turquenite or turquoise. Turquenite is a dyed form of howlite, a mineral often found within sedimentary rock. It is often used to make small carvings or jewelry. Yeah, you often see this one a lot in the southwest. It's a pretty cool stone specimen. It's a little bit smooshy, a little bit elongated, but you can identify it pretty well based off that shape and some of those darkish colors in the cracks. Pretty stone and helps to eliminate the names of some of the other blue gemstones. 19, door number 19 we're going to find. Another very rough cut up stone, not polished. Okay, we're back to another flaky gemstone option like we had saw earlier with the blue calcite, or what we are guessing to be blue calcite. This one though, a little more green. So I think we can easily go with green fluorite. Fluorite is a relatively soft material found throughout the world. Some samples of fluorite will glow under ultraviolet light, a property called fluorescence. And placing next to our blue calcite, I think that helps identify the blue calcite better because you now can see some of the blue in the calcite of blue. It really helps sometimes to bring the two gemstones together to compare and contrast and identify. Really quick, will it glow under fluorescent light? Not really. Oh wait, we skipped 18. How did that happen? It's frustrating when they mix up the doors like this. And then the calendar's kind of falling apart as it loses structure. Okay, this one possibly is the most difficult to identify today, and it may not even be the correct specimen of gemstone to look at. I've gone through many Google searches to see if I could find some familiar images, but I finally settled on blue quartz. Quartz is the second most abundant mineral in the Earth's continental crust, and it is found in many varieties and colors, and that's maybe why it's throwing me today. This one, more purple, and so I almost could say chevron amethyst in a way, but this stone, the chevron amethyst, certainly looked more like what the photo says, and I had to process of elimination and go with blue quartz. Interesting little stone. Now we can go to 20. Funny how we skipped around here, but it doesn't completely matter as long as we do one a day, right? Or one every hour. This is the one that impostered over onto the floor of the box below it. Another challenging stone to identify. It's milky white with a little bit of orange. I believe it would have helped had it been a little more orange, but I think we're gonna go with carnelian, which is a semi-precious stone, and the concentration of some iron oxide gives it a reddish hue, but only on one small corner. I kind of got it confused with rose quartz, but from what I've seen rose quartz before, that is more rosy, so we're gonna go with carnelian. So now we move to 21. Is there a rock in here? Okay, I kind of feel like this is definitely snowflake obsidian. So this gemstone is definitely snowflake obsidian. You can see those snowflakes quite prominent in this gemstone. Looking back at regular obsidian, I know I had a little bit of a challenge with that one too, because there were some markings on this one, little spots that I almost thought, hey, that could be some snowflakes. But now placing them together, you can see that we have found a snowflake obsidian piece here. The crystals that speckle the surface of snowflake obsidian are called spherulites, and they are formed from the mineral crystallolite, a type of quartz. Had to read that under the box there. So a really pretty specimen of snowflake obsidian. So that was 21, 22 here. Uh-oh. We've got something roughed up here. And finally we can put to rest our flaky rock gemstone samples. This one has to be a geode piece. You can even see some of the dirty rough underside of where the geode was broken. And it is much more sparkly. Geodes are hollow rocks in which beautiful crystals have formed inside. They may look plain on the outside, but you never know what beauty waits within until you crack the geode open. And here, together with the blue calcite and the green fluorite, you can now see they are quite different from one another. So door number 23. What? It is so metallically shiny. What could this be? Another very challenging gemstone to identify based off the photos given. I had to read in a little closer, but it is hematite. Hematite is a mineral form of iron oxide that is typically steel gray in appearance, and you can certainly see that metallic shine of this gemstone. Its image on the box had a little more of a green tone, so it threw me until I finally read into it. Again, Google searching helps, and I have seen this gemstone often, I just kind of forgot its name. But it's quite striking. Love the reflection, some of the colors bouncing off the sides are really terrific. And I believe it may go into the construction of some of the metal of gold mecha squirrel. I knew this was going to get challenging, just not that challenging. Okay, so our final stone block is in 24. Oh, that's right, we're going to be digging. So somewhere inside this crystal block lies our final gemstone. Let's put down a post-it here so we can kind of see this better. And we've got our digging tool now here with brush. Funny, I thought this was just to help identify stones, but we're gonna dig through this and find out what we have. Whoa, chunked that out pretty easily. I see it right at the bottom, right away. Now it's a little tighter. What do we got here? And there from the dig site, this is definitely, it's rosy, it's quartzy. What do you think? Rose quartz. Mineralogists do not completely understand the source of rose quartz highly prized pink color, but many believe it comes from iron, titanium, and manganese impurities within the stone. It's really a nice finish and helps square away some of the other gemstones. I know I had a little bit trouble with the chevron amethyst and the carnelian, but now together you can kind of check each of these off the list of gemstones. So there we go, quite the many gemstones to identify from 24 Advent days. It really helps to line these up as you see on the chart on the box here. In the process of elimination, there's a few of these that kind of mix together and kind of confuse, but once they are all out, you should be able to really identify everything together, and it was quite entertaining to do so. So that there was a very fun and challenging Advent calendar. So to finish things up here on a more simpler note, we've also got the gold doubloon dig kit. Inside we're going to dig up 2 replica gold doubloons and 3 genuine pyrite specimens. So we're going to see some more pyrite. Inside the box, a small little information poster of the doubloon, our doubloon treasure chest, a digging chisel, a digger's brush, and a magnifying glass. So inside we should find 2 doubloons, replicas of course, and more pyrite. So it's loaded with little items in there. The question is, how tough will this rock be? I might need to bring out an X tool. Let's begin the dig, see what we can find in here. It feels like the same powder that we just kind of dug through from the other chest. Or I should say the crystalline block pieces of the Advent calendar. It's very chalky and dusty. X tool, anyone? What I like about the X tools is there's a little more grip to them and a little more shape. I think this one is one of our classics, or not, I can't tell at the moment. There we go, this chisel is what I'm gonna work with. So I blew off a part of the chest already and I don't think there's anything in here. Wow, this is crunchy. It's so crunchy. Anything? Oh, right there, pyrite. It's cracking. Oh, and our first doubloon up top too. So we've got pyrite here, and our first doubloon coin. Oh, it's so shiny. Would you look at that replica and not the band-aid on my finger? Ooh, this side's going to have to be cleaned up and even left an imprint in the rock. And now we have to see if we can cram out this piece of pyrite. Oh wow, it's so stuck. Oh, there we go. Our first piece of pyrite, and it's much larger than the last one. Very nice piece. We'll clean that up shortly. Oop. And we've got one more doubloon in there. See if I can find it. And one more piece of pyrite. Or two pieces, three pieces of pyrite. There's supposed to be several, which makes this pretty fun. Oh, right on top. It's as if they formed this upside down, and then they made the mold like this, dropped in the doubloons and the mixture, and then the heavy metal settled to the bottom. And there is our second doubloon. Very nice and shiny. We'll clean those up, look at them closer. See if I can find one more piece of pyrite. There should be three pieces. We'll call it good as this is quite solid. Wow, is it even in there? Got to be in this piece. This piece is heavy. There's no mass in these pieces. Ah, we found it. We found both pieces. There we go. It's tight. So there we have two more pieces of pyrite. I lost the third piece and a couple doubloons. Let's clean these up and look at them closer. And here's what we've got inside the gold doubloon treasure chest. 3 pieces of pyrite, much larger than the small tiny piece we got in the advent calendar, and a little more sparkly, a little more golden. Maybe these are real gold, right? Right? This one's pretty good chunk. Then the gold doubloons themselves. Here's one with a mountain and a sunset maybe shining down below. And they're kind of made to look like they are either rusting and or just been damaged under the ocean floor of age or treasure chests. I took a little soft brush on them to remove most of the white powder. It's still a little bit there. One side's a little more shiny than the other. So very pretty, very fun. Fun to get actual real fake gold dipped treasure once in a while, and this kit will guarantee that. So pretty good calendar of gemstones today. Learned a lot or scrambled my brain with all sorts of rocks inside. If you liked today's video, please give us a squike, a squirrelive, and a squamment. What was your favorite gemstone of the day? More advent calendars on their way. Thank you so much for watching. That's what I have to say about that.